And there she was waiting for me. She would never let me walk home by myself. She was very protective. And boy, was I glad to see her.
My kids, now, especially my grandchildren, it's all my wife, that's all. I live for them. Look at this one. And he's so proud of himself.
Well, Mother was constantly coming to class, to school for conferences. There was one particular teacher, she was my 8th grade teacher, her name was Sophie Gosh, and she had her lower lip protruded over her upper lip, like this, you know. And she would say, "Edward, I can't stand you anymore. I want to see your mother." And I would get up and I'd say, "But my mother's in Philadelphia." She was here all the time. I just didn't want Mother to come. And she would say, "What happened?" And I said, "Well, my grandmother died." My grandmother died about a half a dozen times when I was going to school. These stars because it showed that I was academically doing well in school. And finally, I had these 10 stars, and I took them out this day to turn them into the teacher for a prize. And my mother anxiously awaited for me to come home that day with my prize. What happened was that I left them on my desk, and one of the other kids stole them. And when I came home and I told this to my mother, she absolutely did not believe that somebody would have stolen the stars, you see.
He says, "I lost it." I says, "How could you lose it? It was, if I put in the briefcase." He says, "I don't know."
Finally, after questioning me, and when I kept telling her that they were stolen, somebody stole it, she didn't believe it. So finally, I lied to her. I said, "Well, I sold the stars for a dime."
And then he told me he sold it for 10 cents. He was a businessman. I said, "Where's the 10 cents?" He said, "I spent it." I said, "Where could you spend it? You go to school and you come home." Now, listen, until the very day it remained that way.
But to this day, still now, every once in a while she'll say, "What really happened to those stars?"
Today, what do you think happened?
Today, I don't know what happened. Maybe he lost. Maybe he gave a friend of hers. He says, "Okay, he was a good kid. His name wasn't there. You'll take the mother, so you'll have." She looks just like, but look at her hair getting so beautiful blonde. She has mommy's nose, mommy's mouth, mommy's eyes, lashes.
I remember seeing her every day.
And then there was the candy store across the street from PS 11. Selma got Grandma a job, 50 cents an hour to sell candy to the kids. 2 of those kids?
I remember each day before school, I'd stop in and I would hope to be able to scrounge a little piece of candy off of your mother. If you can't scrounge it off of your mother, who can you scrounge it from?
So did you give candy to your son?
Oh, no. My kid has to buy candy from the other lady, not from me.
That was Mom. You couldn't, that was her honesty, and that was the way she handled everything. She was that way in all her dealings with everybody. She always felt and always said that she did, and she had a pride in this, that she didn't owe anybody anything. She took care of all her debts, and she paid everything on time. And that was a large thing with Mom, and it still is. She does everything for cash. I don't know how she taught us, but she does everything for cash. We only work on credit.
And to this day, those principles have been carried forward to the GATCO organization.
Everybody likes the cookies. I'm going to put out I have plenty of them. I see you want a cookie.
Sure, thank you.
This lady never feeds us around here.
Next were the other Ida Gudinski stomping grounds. The family shul, where both boys were bar mitzvahed, now a Seventh-day Adventist church.
This was my mother never liked me to go on that one. But when she gave us some money to go to the amusements, to buy some tickets for the amusements, I told her I promised her faithfully I would never go on it. But the As soon as she was out of sight, I made a beeline for the Cyclone. What a great ride. What excitement. It was a family outing, and we were all together right out here on the beach. Mother would spread a blanket, and we'd wear our bathing suits underneath our clothes because we couldn't afford to take a locker.
The old wool bathing suits too.
That's
I
right.
remember those with the white strap, the black suits with the white strap around them.
That's right.
This was a fitting way to end the New York tour. It really touched Dad and Uncle Marty. I guess because Coney Island was still relatively similar to the treasured days of their youth. And as we were about to leave the hometown of the Gudinskis, and I watched these brothers stroll the sand, one thing was as clear as that day. Whether it be to the tip of Brooklyn on the BMT for the day, or a move down to Florida for life, one thing is certain. You can take a Gudinski out of the Bronx, but you can't take the Bronx out of a Gudinski. Of course, the ticket out of the Bronx was an education. While Dad was on his way with a full scholarship to the City College of New York, Marty was another story. He didn't think he had the grades to make it. His mother would hear none of it and asked him to get a tutor, take the entrance exam, and get to college where he belonged.
I said, Ma, it won't ever happen. My grades, forget it. And I don't like school. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to college. She says, you'll go, I'll break your head. That's where you'll go, you know. So at any rate, I says, all right, Ma, to keep her quiet, I said, Ma, okay, I'll take the test, and we'll see what happens.
So then the end was they sent you know, that was the paper what he made. He could do anything in the world what he wants, and he's going to make it because he has a brain.
How did you feel about that?
I feel that I'm a newborn baby, you know.
She really was the push behind it. Otherwise, I don't know where I'd be today. I'd probably be a lot better off. But I probably, you know, I don't know where I'd be today. But whatever career I had was because of Mom.
And in the same sense, Mom was where she was because of Dad, a man of example and a man of deed, who stitched out a living of food, clothing, shelter, and love. His childhood? It didn't start until his retirement, and how he relished it. He traded in his sewing machine for Jerome Park, his thimble for his new grandchildren. But 5 years was all the fun God was going to allow him.
I still can't believe that he's gone.
Saturday, May 13th, 1961. Abe wakes up with a sharp pain in his left chest. Like a needle, he said. A doctor comes over and can't diagnose it.
My shock was I didn't believe it. I couldn't believe, because I had seen him the evening before, and I couldn't believe that actually happened.
A second doctor arrives. He can't put his finger on the problem. He gives Abe 3 injections to help him relax. A few minutes later, Abe falls asleep.
Selma walked in 12 o'clock. She said, I heard, I called her and said that I said, Abe is sick, we don't know what, but he's sleeping now. So she walked in, I said, don't say nothing, he's sleeping. So I was talking to her, and I hear he's calling me, not knowing that he woke up. So I go in, I say, how do you feel? He says, not too good, not too good. So I said, what are we going to do now? He said, so he wants to have oranges. I look at oranges. But he says, I don't want the cans. I want to have a squeeze. So Selma goes into Dutch for oranges. And he says to me, fix my pillow. I fixed the pillow. I said, he lays like this. I said, go back. He's not going back. I pick him up and he's dead.
A cerebral hemorrhage, age 70. Laughing one day, dead the next.
That guy wanted to live so badly. That's